Yo, 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 what it do? It is your boy, One Star. This is the Cast with One Star. Now, I got a very, very special artist that's in the building with me today. Look, y'all know her. She back on the scene. She coming back strong. We're going to talk about her music. But first, let me go and introduce the beautiful Kemistry to the show. How you doing,
Hey, y'all.
Kim?
I'm doing fine.
All right, that's good. Look, now, like I said before, on this show, you know, we keep everything 100. We want to break down and know who Kemistry is. Not just the artist, but we want to know the inside of who you are, from where you grew up, how you was raised, everything. So, let's go ahead and start this off. You got to talk or speak up loud for us on this one. So, tell us about Kemistry. Who is Kemistry?
Well, Kemistry is from Nashville, Tennessee. Born and raised. She's an author, actor, rapper, upcoming country pop singer. She's outgoing, life of the party. It's Kemistry.
All right, now, Kemistry. Tell us about how you was raised. How before Kemistry, who is the inner child within Kemistry today?
Well, I was raised in church, y'all. My mom would have me going to church 3 and 4 nights out the week. I was singing in the choir. When my friends was going to sleepovers, I was getting on that church van. So I grew up in church, having to wear skirts and stuff like that.
What denomination?
Church of God in Christ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they shout, "Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus."
Yeah, you one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
So what led you into doing music?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted to do music. I used to write poems and songs and stuff like that, and I would write the poems and songs and get me and my brothers and sisters and line them up and start singing and stuff like that to whatever I wrote to. And then singing runs in my family anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of Evelyn Champagne King.
No, talk about
she sings that song, Shane, Shane, Shane. So my uncle is Freddie Fox. That's her husband.
Okay.
And my uncle, he's a blues singer. So when they have their General Jackson boat, him and his wife is on the boat. So stuff like that runs in my family anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I basically got started.
So you mentioned earlier to me before we got into the interview about, you know, your gospel background. So how long was you singing in gospel? Like when we talk about gospel, we're not talking about trying to be the lead singer now. We're talking about more of being in a choir growing up, and you know, the youth choir and you know, the adult choir, women's choir and all of that. So how did that help you become more into music today?
Well, I always been spiritual, so you know, I always believe in God and all this. So it just helped me, like, I guess like believe in myself, helped me push more. Because when I was a kid, I used to always have to go in front of the choir, sing. I sung in the choir. I had to get up there and sing solos and stuff like that, and they loved my voice. So ever since then, when singing as a kid led up to singing as an adult. So I'm like, they liked when I was a kid, you know. But
my thing is, what led you into doing hip hop?
I always liked the hip hop. My mama kind of forced me to sing in the choir and be all, you know, holier than thou, you know. So she kind of pushed me into that. So even when I was a kid, I would write raps and go to school and be on the wall and over there with my homeboys and my brother over there just rapping and stuff like that. So it was always in me.
So was you a tomboy growing up?
I kind of was. I was climbing over fences, going through fences, fighting my brother friends and doing karate, doing all this stuff. Yeah, so I kind of was.
Now you also said you are an author. I heard you say an author.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you and your authorship. Let me say it collegiate. Let's talk about you and your authorship. So what made you start to write?
When I was probably, I know it had to been like 10 or 11 or something like that. I had wrote a poem called Different People of the World. It was basically like white, blacks, all different kind of races getting together and getting along. So I had submitted it to a poetry contest and I ended up winning that poetry contest. So from that day on, I always knew that I wanted to be an author.
Now, nothing wrong with that. So I heard you write now. What kind of books do you write? What type of genres do you like to write in?
Adult books and children books. And right now I have 2 children books out now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. One is called Susie Longlegs. It's about a little girl that was getting bullied in school and how they end up appreciating her at the end of the story. And then Emma and the Sea Creatures is about a little girl who had everything going on in life, but she didn't appreciate it. She wanted to be in the ocean with the sea creatures, and when she found out that it wasn't then, you know, hey.
Now my thing is, by you writing for kids, like, are writing to help encourage women, like young girls more than men, or are you working on getting the young boys involved too?
Well, the books are really, it can be for both, both genders. So it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, because and I had boys and girls purchase my books. So it's basically for, because kids get bullied no matter if you're a girl or a boy.
Yeah. So what grade level is this book starting at?
It's kind of like age like 7 through like maybe it's young kids.
Okay.
So like maybe 7 through like 12 or something. But I have another book too called The Letter L that I've already written that book. I just have to release it. And then I have some more adult books that I have to put out too.
Now my key thing is for people that want to write, and we're going to get into your music, for those that want to write, what type of steps will it take for them to get into writing? Because I know it's writing, then it's proofreading, and then you got to send it to people, and then they got to accept it and proofread it and do the grammarification.
Right. The first thing a person has to do, you have to come up with the plot, the summary, and all that stuff. And then when you write all of that down, make sure you get your stuff copyrighted. Because if you send it to somebody, even if you send your idea and tell your idea to somebody, they can steal it.
Okay.
So they need to get their stuff copywritten first, and then once some people, they can write with me. I write my stuff out on hand. Some people type their book out on the computer. Okay. Writing is on hand is better for me. And then once you do that, you just find a publisher and get it published.
How long does it take you normally before you get for a book to be completed? Because I know when an author writes, their work is never completed.
Right.
That's a literature 101. Their work is never completed. Right. You just give it at that time. So how long does it normally take you for you feel like it's comfortable to get out to the masses?
It depends on like how fast the writer is. Like for me, like if I really focus and just focus on writing a book instead of my music, it will only take me like less than 2 months to write a 40,000 word book. So yeah, it's basically on the author.
Okay, now let's keep moving farther along. Since you done talked about the children book, you done spoke a little bit about the adult side of it. Let's talk about more you now being in the hip hop game, because I remember Flipping and Dipping.
Right.
That was the single that I remember. Like you was on the scene. Like everybody wanted Kemistry to come do shows. They wanted the Kemistry to collaborate. So what is the difference between the Kemistry back then and to the Kemistry we about to see today?
The difference back then, I had a little situation going on that was kind of holding me back. Now,
I know it's kind of little detailed.
Right.
But can you elaborate to the best way you can about the situation and how did it help you evolve? Now, we don't have to talk about this, that, and the other. Let's just get a brief understanding, because this is what everybody really been waiting on. Everybody been waiting on this moment right here. And I wanted to get the exclusive, but I want you to say it the way so it can be understood to everybody that's listening.
Okay.
So tell us about what happened with Kemistry and why did Kemistry go MIA?
Okay. So a lot of people didn't know that I was on the run for 9 years.
Okay, now, like we there's nothing wrong with it. So my thing is this, what made you be that way? I know we all lived in our life, so I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't good at the things I done, but believe me, I wasn't good at what she just said. I had one other homely that was good like her that outran a sentence. But anyway, it's not about that. So what happened?
Okay, so I was on parole, and at the time my kid's daddy, at the time I had twins, and my twins were 2 months and they had to stay in Vanderbilt. And so at the time I couldn't work, I couldn't do nothing because I was sore. I just had a C-section. They were 2 months old. My kid's daddy ended up going to the feds. So he ended up leaving me with our kids and stuff, and I ended up getting in trouble. And my PO called me and was like, "Hey, can you come to the office?" And when she told me that, I knew that I was in trouble. So I was like, I can't go see her, because if I went to go see her, she would have locked me up. And I'm like, who would take care of my kids? They're already sick. They was premature. They was in the hospital. So from that point on, I took my kids and I ran for 9 years.
Okay, my question is this: even though you were running, you still managed to push a music career. How did you feel about when you was getting the attention? How did that come? Did you feel like that was one way for them to come and like spot at you, or do you just like say, fuck it, my kids at the age now? Like, tell us, like, what did you do in order to get into that mode to get out of there?
Okay, so Let me see.
Take your time. We got time.
Okay, so like when I first started running, I was praying to God. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, lead me this way. I don't know. So I ended up started doing music maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and like everybody kept asking me like, how did you do it? And you was doing music and doing that. It's because I didn't ever really think that I was on the run. You had to like make yourself believe that you wasn't running. So that's how I was able to last for 9 years on the run, you know, and still doing music and books and all this stuff. But it was hard trying to be an artist and being on the run. So that's one reason why I couldn't do a lot of shows in Nashville. I probably did maybe 2 or 3 shows in Nashville, because I used to think, okay, if I'm doing a show, what if they come and pick me up?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, when they did finally catch up to me, the guy said, well, we knew you had a show at the G Spot and we was gonna come and get you. Yeah. He said, but I'm one of your biggest fans.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
Okay.
So that's one reason why I had to step back from Tennessee and go to other states like Florida, New Orleans, Atlanta, which they mess with me real tough.
Okay.
So that's why.
So how did you mentally feel about going through this, knowing we have, you know, the twins, and knowing that you trying to like pursue and be in survival mode because you wasn't in mother mode? Right. So was it harder being in that survival mode till you got comfortable, or do you feel more released since all of that's behind you now?
Well, I wasn't even comfortable on the run, because every time I had to look over my shoulder constantly, hoping I don't get pulled over. I wasn't comfortable at all. I just had to have that mentality like, I'm not on the run, but I am on the run. But now I'm good, because that situation is over with. I can live my life. I'm finna go hard now. When you ask me what's the difference between now and then, I can go harder than I was going before. I can finally be myself. Then I couldn't be myself at all.
Now what I want you to do is hold that thought, okay? Right. Now look, we're gonna be right back. Y'all give us like 15 seconds. Let me play this little intro with 15 seconds. And then we're gonna be back with the artist Kemistry, and we're gonna talk about more. Y'all got what y'all needed right now, but we're gonna be back for a little bit more about this music, okay? Yeah. Yo, I told y'all a brief minute, now we back. Y'all know who I got in the building. If y'all ain't heard what you heard, y'all need to rewind it and go on and hear what she was talking about. But we do got the beautiful Kemistry in the building. Kemistry, thank you so much for coming on the show. I ain't even say that at first, like, that was rude of me. Thank you for coming to the show. But you know, we did talk about the main thing, which was how you got locked up. The persecutions that you had to go through. Right. Now everybody kind of got the exclusive of why you went through what you had to go through. And I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna knock you about it, because by you being a mother, had to raise kids at a time in a situation that was hard, at least you didn't be like other people and give up. You had to make a sacrifice, and you sacrificed your babies to that time. Now, let's talk about you being incarcerated. So how was it like being locked up?
Oh my gosh, it was like I was famous in there.
What you mean?
It was like I was famous in there. Every time I turned around, if 2 people came to me and it was like, is your name Kemistry? I'm like, yeah. She was like, well, my daughter was on YouTube and she heard your song and she likes it and she wants me to get your autograph. Okay. Yeah, and then another girl came and asked me the same thing, because when I got locked up, my song Beat It Up was playing. So I don't know how their kids found me, because there's a certain way that you spell my name. So
okay, I got a question. Hold on, stop, Kemistry. Beat It Up. And I know the way how you are as an artist is different than what you see in this interview, okay? Yeah. Because she is really, let's say, classy. That's the best way to say it, in her attire. And when it comes to you doing music, like you're all out there artist. It's either all or nothing. Yeah. So how did you get through to get these kids? Like, tell us, what did you do to fight this algorithm with the YT? Because you know I'm not gonna say the name of it, but how did you get through YT? Because most of us can't even get through YT with it when it comes to this content. So how did you pull it off, and what did you have to go through?
I was just being myself. Okay. You just gotta be yourself.
So did you appeal? Because I know I tried to put it when I was doing music videos, man, I got flagged for.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they like the name Kemistry or something. Okay. I don't know. I just went with the flow, and that was it. And maybe they liked it or something. I don't know.
And you got like everybody listening to your music, and like they still listen to it. Even when you were gone, they were still listening to it.
They was listening to it while I was locked up.
So my thing is, even when you were locked up, did it take you time to start focusing on writing a new album, or what was you doing at that time frame?
I was still writing. I have songs. I have a whole lot of songs that I have to put out now from when I was locked up. Then I wrote that children's book that I'm about to release too. I wrote some more adult books and stuff like that. And I had contacted who was it? It was something Productions. His name is Cash, and I wrote him. And he was like, he's interested in the book that I had wrote when I was locked up. And then some more people, I explained to them why I was locked up and everything, and they want to turn my story into a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so
my thing is now, since you are already turning songs into song tracks and future song tracks and this, that, and the other, we done talked about you in the music. So let's talk about this new project that you coming out, or these new singles. What is Kemistry doing now to come back in the scene to show Nashville what you have to offer?
Well, I just put out a song called Hustle in Silence, and hopefully we'll be shooting a video next week.
Okay.
I have a whole lot of shows coming up. I'm about to be featured in like 3 movies. I'm in a reality show in Nashville called Nashville'S Baddies.
Okay.
And then another reality show in Atlanta called No Baddies Left Behind. And maybe another reality show in Atlanta too. So I got a lot going on.
So my key thing is this, because people don't know, even though you was doing music back to flipping and dipping it, and you know when you was back on that rise while you was doing you, say it like that, when you was doing you.
Right.
But now you was also being an actress too.
Yeah.
So tell us about the roles of an actress. Like how, like I know you mess with Atlanta a little bit more than Nashville.
Right.
Which we'll talk about that on a whole different
Another topic. Right.
But for you to transition from Atlanta back to Nashville, taking care of kids, doing music, to now, how is you still managing, like especially with Nashville Baddies, and then you got Atlanta Baddies, and then you got these movies, like how are you using your time management to make sure you get this accomplished? Because these are big steps, which is putting you in a great platform. So tell us, how are you using your time management?
I'm just like, first of all, I have to have at first I never had a schedule. So now I put everything in my schedule to make sure whatever shows I got don't bump into each other, you know, collide with each other. So I keep up with my schedule, and then I just pray, and then I just have a lot of energy. Yeah. So it's like nonstop. I barely get any sleep though. That's really not good. You should get sleep. But me, I probably get like maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep, because when most people are sleeping, I'm sending my music off to like radio stations and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just I got a lot of energy. So and then I already been down, so that's one reason why it's time to get all that sleeping and stuff that's over now. Okay, now here we go. You know, I had to break it down. We gotta get a little deep up in this interview. Some of these people is not feeling like this part, okay? Now, who support Kemistry the most? ATL.
Nashville, Atlanta.
ATL, all the way.
Explain the difference between Nashville support and Atlanta support.
Okay, Atlanta support, they support you no matter if you're famous, if you're a nobody, no matter how you look, no matter how many followers you have. They don't care about none of that. Okay. How much money you got, none of that stuff matters in Atlanta. You just gotta be yourself. When you yourself, people see that, and that's when, like with me, I took my music down there. So once they start seeing that, other people just start coming. Now Nashville, it's like you gotta be popular, or got a certain amount of followers, certain amount of money, be known or something down here. I don't know. I've even reached out to like a couple of female artists, try to like collaborate with them, and they don't hit me back. I first started noticing this before I even got locked up. I'll follow the females, I'll comment on their stuff, I'll like their stuff. They wouldn't even show their love back. Yeah. So I started seeing that, so I was like, nah, I'm finna fall back, because I'm not finna be begging for nobody to work with me, you know. Really, I'm a star, but you know. But yeah, once I saw that, I just said, I'm just gonna go somewhere else with my music. So when it comes to like you talked about the females that's in Nashville, that you know, we don't, all of us don't went through it, that some be in a position where they feel like they more than less. But I think with me, it's more they intimidated. Okay. I think they're more intimidated. They might think I might steal their spotlight or something like that. Here we go. Hold on, Kemistry, because we're saying something. You know, when it comes to this, so
why do you feel like, and please break it down, because I'm trying to break the ice with the men and the women in Nashville about how people feel about this. So why do you feel like they intimidated?
Because my looks, my sound. I might not be the best rapper. It don't matter about none of it. It's about your looks and how people interact with you.
Okay.
They see how people interact with me and my looks. So when they see a bad bitch, they're probably like, oh man, she might steal my shine or something. But what's for you is for you. Can't nobody take it. It's gonna be somebody that look better than me. I'm not gonna be jealous of her or not want to work with her. Me, I want to work with a baddie anyway. You know, two baddies together in the video making a song. Come on now. But they don't want to do that.
So this is why you feel like you get more love in Atlanta, because they
ready to work with you, ready to jump on the song with you. They ready to do all that. Here it's like I don't know. They just weird down here. They different. They weird.
So the way it looked like you may be in a commute. Like if you had the chance to move and they gave you a deal, would you be willing to go to Atlanta more than Nashville?
Yep.
Okay.
I would.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now, wow. Let's talk about you and this actress. Like, let's talk about you in this right here. So, in your career, how many movies have you been in so far? Not the ones you about to do. How many that you done been in so far? Cause I know you. Okay,
two movies. Yeah, I'm in 2 movies, and one of the movies, 3 of my songs is in.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 movies.
Name them.
Common Sense and Sister Soldier.
Talk about Common Sense.
Common Sense is about this guy named Charles. How he grew up in Atlanta. This big dope boy, and how like he got robbed. It's a lot of stuff going on with the movie and stuff. But I'm just playing like the girlfriend and stuff like that. And 3 of my songs is in the song.
Okay, so
in the movie.
How did you become a Nashville baddie? Talk about that.
Let's see. One day when I got out, this certain person started following me, and then he hit me up. He was like, I want you to be a part of Nashville Baddies. And I asked him, I said, what made you come to me and ask me to do that? He was like, it's your personality, it's your energy, and I like how you promote your music and stuff. So from that day on, hey, I'm a Nashville Baddie.
So now, when Nashville Baddie supposed to start?
It's supposed to be airing this summer. So yeah, this summer.
Now, not only that, you got the one in Atlanta. Talk about it, cause we promoting you right now. Let's talk about it.
So No Baddies Left Behind. I just signed my contract this week, y'all. So I had to sign the NDA and all this stuff. So hopefully by next week, everything will be up and running with that. So I just signed my contract today. So I don't know what's coming to the future, but I just know it's a popular reality show. It has something to do with love and hip hop, and yeah.
Now my key thing is this: since you're a writer, you talked about the books, we done talked about the new music, we done talked about the single, we done talked about Atlanta, we done talked about Nashville. Let's get a little bit more deeper. Let's go back to you.
Okay.
Now, through the hardships you had in your life, what was the hardest one you had to overcome besides being on the run for 9 years?
Let's see. What I had to overcome. Oh God. Are you saying like me being on the run or overcome in life, period?
Overcome in life, without talking about being on the run.
Oh my God. Breaking away from somebody that was very abusive to me.
Talk about it.
Oh God.
I mean.
Well, okay. It was somebody I was with for a long, long time. And that's one reason why I never became a actress, a rapper, or none of that. I kind of started late in life, and that person was they was hindering me. So that's one reason why. But when I did break free away from that person, I felt free. I could do whatever I want to do. And that's one thing artists need to, especially females, if you have somebody holding you back, leave that person alone. Because if they're not happy for you, they're not trying to help you push your stuff, leave them alone.
So my thing about that, how long was you in that type of hardship? Because it sounds like how you look
like
with
15 years. 15 years. So I was with that person a long time.
With that 15 years, how do you feel about it now? Do you feel more released? Do you feel more free?
Yes, I felt like I just got out of prisoner jail. When I broke free from that person, it was like, fresh air. Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is, if you had any other advice to give to somebody that was probably in your shoes, that's probably scared to talk about it and scared to, admit, I'm in something that's toxic, I'm in something that's karmic. How would you help them cope a way to get up out of that situation?
I would say don't keep it to yourself. Go talk to somebody, and it don't matter if he'd be like, oh, I love you, I'm gonna change. Especially if they hit you once, they're gonna keep on hitting.
Okay.
And sometimes you think you can change a person, and you can't change that person. That person has to change themselves, you know. So that's what I used to always think, that okay, he's not gonna hit me no more. He's gonna change. No, once they keep hitting you once, they're gonna keep on doing it.
Okay.
If they see you easy or weak-minded, that's when they're gonna keep doing it until you break free.
So what is your biggest inspirations now, like continuing on your legacy for Kemistry?
I'm going to continue with my music, my books, everything, because I especially where I was raised at, I want to show my kids that I can too do it because I'm from the projects, and then I'm a villain. So I want my kids to know, you know, my mama still can do it, and she got a record. She from the projects.
Whoa. Hold on. So we've been going through this whole interview, and I asked you about your horseshoes, and you didn't want to tell me about you growing up in the PJ. What part?
South Bay, James Casey, South Bay, yeah.
Man, talk about that. Them your people.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm from out east on South Bay. Everybody know me. They don't know me as Kemistry. They know me as Tiffany over there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I basically grew up fighting, kicking ass, and everybody know me. So yeah, I'm from the project. You couldn't tell if I didn't tell you. So,
but this shows growth. That's why I said talk to your people.
Yeah, because you don't always have to look like what you've been through in life. So yeah, I was raised over there. I always fought, got in trouble, stuff like that. So that's one reason why I want the good life for my kids. I didn't want them to have to repeat the same thing that I went through.
Man, you play too much. Man. You should have been, man.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, even though I grew up poor, it was like, in my eyes, to my brothers and sisters, we wasn't really poor. We was poor, but we really was, because my mama, she did what she could. Even when she had the little parties and stuff like that, shoot, we was happy. You know, we was happy. We wanted for stuff, but we made the best of it. We never complained about it. I had a good childhood, but we was still poor though.
Man, that's what's up. That is, man, you should have let me know, man. I ain't even know that.
Yeah, a lot of people really don't know that. If you look at me, you wouldn't think that I was from the projects. But if you knew me from back in the day, yeah, because I stay fighting.
Now, my key thing besides that, now, if you go back and look at your life from where you first started to now.
Like, started with music? Or?
Yeah, started, period.
Okay.
Let's go back to the PJs.
Okay.
Let's go from the PJs to where you are now.
Right.
How much do you feel like you have developed? Because I see, like, I ain't think you was from there. When you said it, just like people didn't know. Like, when I came to Nashville, I went straight to North Nashville. I did not, in 2000, I never knew, but I was a 12th above Cannon representative ever since then, but you will never know.
Right.
But my thing is, like, how much do you feel like you have developed going from there to who you are now?
100%, because the old me, oh man, the old me used to fight. If you call me a bitch or anything, I'm ready to get in your mouth. Like, I done grew so much. I think my kids made me grow a lot too, because being away from them, going to jail, doing all this stuff, that's not even worth it. Being out of your kids' life, that's not worth it. So I done grew up a whole lot. Yeah.
So Kemistry. Now, let's talk about the city a little bit. I'm gonna start getting little questions right now. Here we go. Your opinion matters. Okay. Somebody may not like what we finna say. Hey, it may be controversial. Okay. When it comes to Nashville local artists, 5 males. Tell me who is your top 5 in Nashville.
Kwani Cash.
Why?
Because he been doing his thing for the longest, and I like his songs too.
Okay. Shout out to Kwani.
I represent the field.
Who else?
I like Buck.
Okay.
Cause he got some songs, he got some bangers.
Okay, shout out Buck. Who else?
Let me see. What's that new guy named Black Wizzle? Black Wizzle? Yeah, I like that new song he got out. But I think I was locked up when he came out with that song. But when I got out, I was like, oh, this is a banger. I like that.
Okay.
I like what's it, Bezel Gang?
Levant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Stain.
Okay.
How many is that?
That's 5. Give me one more. Give me miscellaneous.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna stick with that. Now, give me 5 women. That you feel like what we not doing hatred. We just in her mind of why these are the top 5 for right now. This is her perception, her opinion. What you got is your own. Name me your 5 women.
I like what's her name? Lewinsky. I think I'm saying her name right.
I hope you are.
I think I'm saying her name. Her name is Lewinsky. She cold, light skinned chick.
Okay.
Let's see. What's the other girl name? Start with an S. I don't be knowing these female names down here.
What, Sweet Poison?
Not Sweet Poison. She good too. I like her too, but it's another one.
What, Saucy Slim?
Saucy Slim. That's her.
Okay, yeah, Saucy Slim trending.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think the other girl, Gaza. I think she hard.
Gaza?
Yeah,
okay.
B Marie. She hard.
Okay, B Marie. Give me one more, cause we ain't gonna get too controversial on here. Cause they were like, why she ain't pick me? And but look, she just thinking at the top of the dome, okay?
I'm trying to think. Most of the girls I done came in contact with.
Give me one that you see on IG that's in the city that's probably been on the scene.
What is her name? Mimi to go.
Mimi to go.
She hard,
okay.
but I don't see her no more. It's like she done. I don't know. I don't see
Mimi's
her.
still pushing numbers.
Yeah, she hard.
She just
she
in
hard.
a whole different caliber.
Right,
now,
right.
Here
she
we
hard.
go. So
like
since
her.
we talked about the top 5 men and women in your caliber, who you feel like that you listen to. Now, my thing is, I know you like Atlanta music. Who inspired you the most to go do work in Atlanta?
Really like the promoters and stuff. The promoters down there.
Okay, how are the promoters different from down there than from up here?
The promoters, they really put you on down there. Like they tell you what this going on, this event, that event, that event. They let you know everything. They really ain't trying to tell you no dream. They just putting you up on stuff down there.
Okay.
Here they just don't do that.
Now, since you already got your single, you know we've been jumping around. You know I'm gonna keep you on your toes.
Right.
What more do we have for Kemistry? Because you got a single. Are you working on an album? How many more albums are you
I'm working on an album. But until then, I think I'm gonna put like one more single out and then the album.
Okay, yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have another brief intermission. Just a brief one, and then we'll be back with the final remarks when it comes to Kemistry and all of this, okay? So stay tuned, okay? Yep. Yo, what it do? You know, like I said, this is another part of the last part dealing with Kemistry. Before she leave me, before she start going back on her endeavors in her musical career, her little authorship and all of this, we're gonna finish it up with Kemistry. So Kemistry, my thing is for you, if it's anything that you can tell people about from how you grew up, what would you change about the mistakes that you done been through, how to not be engaged in them type of situations, what could you tell the people, especially the kids? Because I like to do this part for the kids, because you know kids ain't supposed to be watching.
Right, but they watching.
Right. So what can be inspirational that you can tell kids about Kemistry?
Well, don't do nothing illegal. Don't do nothing where you gotta be away from your family, get locked up, or none of that. Because once you get a juvenile record, it might turn into an adult record.
Okay.
So just stay out of trouble. Listen to your parents. Do what they say. I mean, when you get 18, you can do what you want to do. But for now, listen to your parents. You don't want to have a juvenile record and then go to prison or jail when you get older.
Okay. Now I hope y'all listen to that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it's anything, this Kemistry can tell the old Kemistry that would change. What would it be?
I would have said leave that nigga alone.
Okay.
Because that's where most of my problems came with dealing with that person. That's why I ended up going on the run. Leave it all because of a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now my thing. Now here we go. Let's get a little spirit. Let's get Christian on this one. Okay. Now, Kemistry to Christian Kemistry. What would you tell Christian Kemistry now compared to Christian Kemistry back in the day?
I should have stayed in the Bible. I should have continued to go to church, because when I got 18, I was like, forget church. My mama she forced me to go, so I would have continued to go.
Okay, now nothing wrong with this. So, with that basically being said, is there anything, any shout outs that you want to give to anybody, anything that you want to say?
Let me see, I forgot my these other two rappers, Starlito and Cashville Young T.
Shout out Lito and Cashville T.
Yeah, y'all cold too. It's a lot of female rappers and male rappers I didn't mention, but I like them too. I just can't name them all.
Now here we go. I got something for you before we get up out of here. Now one more topic right quick. When it comes to Nashville today, do you see Nashville music and our culture starting to be more like Atlanta?
I don't think it started to be more like Atlanta. I think it started to be more like Nashville. It's got its own mindset. It's Nashville just coming up, period. I don't think it's being like Atlanta, because Atlanta is totally different. Like, the people are different. So Nashville just really coming up on its own, and, you know, people being themselves. I guess they starting to recognize people now. So I don't think they're trying to be like Atlanta. I think, you know, it's just everybody unfolding and coming out more and working together now.
But you know, I noticed a lot of major people are starting to come down to
here.
Atlanta.
Yep.
I mean, you hear me say Atlanta.
From Atlanta to here.
Come down to Nashville to get the revenue.
Because Nashville popping.
I feel like for us, we need to start sharing that and more as locals, because we letting these artists come in and make millions.
Right. And they need to be our artists.
And dip straight out of town.
Right.
Instead of us supporting like the big three that we just seen. Instead of the big three, how they supporting each other, and now they can go to a bigger venue down the road. Then it's gonna get bigger and bigger, but it's bringing opening acts for the main ones to come in and be a bigger for the city. So my thing is, how can us as Nashvillians make Nashville better in a local community?
I think we just need to have more support. Everybody need to just get on one page and leave all the hate alone, all that bias stuff, whatever y'all got in the past, leave that stuff alone and just come together. Because now all these other artists from other states, they're starting to see Nashville and they're coming down here. There's a reason why they're coming down here, because Nashville is evolving. They're becoming bigger now. So that at first nobody was just coming. They were just coming down here for country music. Then they're coming. All these rappers stuff, they just now starting to come down here, and there's a reason why. You see?
One last question. How do you feel about older artists being like 35 plus still doing music?
I think I just put this on my page. That's crazy, because there's a lady named Granny. She's a granny. She might be in her 60s or 70s. She got a song with Snoop Dogg, and I think she's finna sign a contract or something, but she's rapping in her 60s and 70s. So it don't matter how old you are. If you want to do something, do it. Don't put no limits on it. That's the problem with people. They put limits on age and limits on this. Do what you feel to do. If you want to do it, there's no limit. The sky is the limit.
Man, I got you.
Not your age, you know?
I understand. Now, with that basically being said, Kemistry, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is an exclusive, y'all, so y'all got it first here. First here. Now when she go other places, just remember, she came here first. We ain't knocking the first, but she came here first. So with that basically said, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Y'all check out her single. Say your single.
Hustle and Silent.
Make sure y'all get on her streaming platforms now. How can they find you?
They can find me on my IG under Femerica_Kemistry 2.
There you go. Now, this is One Stop. This is Kemistry. This was an exclusive one-on-one. You already know we all over the city with it. But until the next time, peace, love, and light, love, and peace. Till the next time, baby. Yep.